Thomas Newton, Tommy to his friends, and he only had one. He did not want to repeat the year of hell that his freshman year had been. He thought about that year and knew that he would say yes, or Tommy would return to the days that still invade his dreams and turn them into nightmares. On a good day he would find himself and his books deposited on the hallway floor. A bad day came in two ways. First, the jocks in his gym class grab his towel and throw it into the hallway, so he would quickly run to his locker to get dressed only to find his clothes were not in the locker, they were also out in the hall. He found that out in between the laughter that the jocks were having at his expense. The second way, they would shove him into his locker and lock him in it. What made it bad was his gym class was the one before lunch and he would have to stay until the gym class after lunch would come into the locker room. The gym teacher would ask, "Tommy, did you see who did this to you?" Tommy would say, "No, they grabbed my towel from behind and all I could think of was I am going to be naked in the hallway." Or, "They shoved me from behind and there was no way to turn to see them in the locker." To Tommy, the freshman year was the year from hell. The sophomore year had started the same. He was shoved down in the hallway. However, the first day the guidance counselor saw what had happened and said, "Come to my office." Tommy grabbed his books and went to her office. He asked Mrs. Evers, "I still do not know who pushed me, so why am I here?" She replied, "There is a way to stop this from happening. Would you like to find out how?" He replied, "I thought I would have to transfer to the other high school to stop this, however my mother believed the jocks at the other high school would just start it over there. So, what is the way to stop this?" She said, "Just a minute, Tommy, there is someone you need to meet." She opened the door and said, "Edward, would you come into my office?" The first thing Tommy thought was he is one of them. He knew of Edward Johnston, Big Ed, however, he never did anything to him, but he never tried to stop it. Mrs. Evers said, "Tommy, this is Edward Johnston, and he can put a stop to everything. He needs a tutor, and you could do that for him. You both would get what you need. Tommy, you get his protection and Edward can stay on the football team." Tommy said, "If I tutor Big Ed, he will keep me safe." "Sure, I would be happy to help him stay on the team." Big Ed said, "Great, I will let everyone know that they will have to deal with me if they do anything to you." The difference between Tommy and Big Ed was like looking at a hot sauce bottle and a jar of mayo. Big Ed was 6 feet 3 inches and weighed at 185 pounds and Tommy was 5 feet 2 inches and 110 pounds. This was the start of the junior year, and he could lose his protection. He would have to talk to his mother about what Big Ed had asked of him, and he would do that as soon as he finished his walk from school. Big Ed had been giving Tommy a ride to and from school, however Tommy needed time to talk to his mother before he could answer, and Big Ed wanted to know, and the only way to put him off was to walk home. Tommy never knew his father. He had died just before he was born. The accident happened at work, and it was the company's fault. The settlement was large. Mother had used what she needed to get her law degree and to buy the house that they lived in. Mother never remarried, so it was just the two of them. That is why he had to talk to her. He was scared about the loss of Big Ed's protection. Tommy got home and thought it would be nice to have dinner ready for his mother when she got home. 3:45 p.m. now and Mother gets home around 6 p.m. He opened the fridge and saw the leftover lasagna. He put it into the oven and set the dial at 200 degrees. He knew that reheating would take time at lower setting with no risk of burning. He made 2 bowls of salad and put them back into the fridge, getting the margarine to make some garlic bread and have that ready to pop into the oven using the bottom to quickly broil the garlic bread. He set the table for the dinner that he had planned out. Tommy had some time to kill, so he went to his room to look at the site he found on the internet and wanted to see if it made any more sense today. The term he had looked up was gender dysphoria. He thought that maybe he had some type of gender dysphoria. It could be the answer to the confusion he sometimes felt. He had no problem making friends with girls, yet he did not want to be more than simply good friends. He did not know why, he just felt it would be wrong somehow. Most boys like girls, maybe he was late in becoming attracted to girls, but he had turned 17 last month. Question and answer. Tommy heard the timer on the oven, and he shut down his computer, then went to get the lasagna out of the oven. His mother should be home soon, and dinner was right on time. He heard his mother's car and knew she would be coming through the front door in moments. As he heard the front door open, he called out, "Mother, dinner will be ready in 5 minutes." She said, "Be right there, it does smell nice." When she got to the kitchen, Tommy had just taken the garlic bread out of the broiler and has put them into a breadbasket. He said, "Pick the salad dressing you want, and I will pour us some iced tea." His mother knew that something was up. She could read into the effort Tommy had taken and was wondering what the problem. Knowing she may have to get it out of him, she asked, "So how was your first day back to school?" Tommy said, "Remember when I started to tutor Big Ed? I thought that he was the answer to the problem. Well, it turns out there may be a new problem with the answer to the problem, and it would only be a problem if I choose to make it a problem. However, if I do not do what Big Ed asks, then it is back to the year of hell at school. I do not want that year to repeat. So, I really do not have a choice. It is just what Big Ed asked me to do for him, help him get a message to his girlfriend. That is what my problem is. I do not know how I can do what he wants." Mother was trying to understand, but the thought was incomplete. All she could come away with was that something was missing in the last of what he had just said. She said, "Why does Big Ed need you to get a message to his girlfriend? Isn't she a cheerleader?" Tommy said, "You are right, however, a lot of things have changed, and Amy does not attend our school." This past summer was when things changed between Big Ed and Amy. Big Ed's father thought that Amy and his son were too close, and he called Amy's parents. He told them of his concerns and asked if they would send their daughter to St. Mary's High School. Maybe if they are not together, they could forget and move on. Mr. Lewis, Amy's father, said that sounds like a good plan, however, we cannot afford to send our girl to St. Mary's. Mr. Johnston, Big Ed's father, had the answer: he would pay the tuition. His mother said, "Okay, he does not see her at school, he could call her." "Mother," he continued, "St. Mary's is a private all-girls school, limited access, only parents may visit, and the only phone is under lock and key in the office of the dean of the school, no Wi-Fi or cell service in the dorm rooms, no male visitors. Big Ed cannot call, text or email." She said, "That makes it somewhat clearer. He wants you to take a message to her. Wait just a minute. No mails allowed. For you to give her Big Ed's message, you would have to be." Tommy cut her off. "Now you see my problem. Big Ed knew that none of his teammates could take her a message, nor could he. He might ask one of the other cheerleaders, however, they might tell her he was breaking up, that way they might have a chance at becoming his girlfriend. So, he thought of me. I am small even for a girl. He thought that I would have the best chance of being able to pass as a girl. So, he asked me to do it." "You are right," Mother said. "When does he want your answer?" Tommy said, "At school, first thing. I do not feel that I have a choice, I have to say yes." Unfortunately, even with the help of his cousin Mary, she is a cosmetologist that works at New Image Day Spa and Beauty Shop. His plan is for Mary to transform me into a girl and have me take Amy his message. I think that I would need to be able to be believed as a girl, and that is what would do me in. I am a boy, a small boy. I am worried that no matter how much I may look like a girl, when Mary is finished with me, I will fail to pass as a girl. All my mannerisms are that of a boy. I have no idea how to act like a girl." Mother's terms. Mother said, "I think I know how to help you. Tell Big Ed, you will do it. Then tell him that your mother told you that she would not allow you to be turned into a girl and sent to the school on the same day. In order to pass as a girl, you need time to be a girl, dress as a girl and learn how to be a girl. Tommy said, "Mother, now I feel a little in the dark. How can I learn how to be a girl if I go to school as a boy?" "That would be a problem if you went to school. I will show up at school and say you need to come with me. A family member is in the hospital, and they may not make it, so we will be going to be with them just in case. I will ask for your classwork for the next 2 weeks. Tell Big Ed to call Mary and have her see you at 1 p.m. Do not worry, it will work out better if you just let it happen, trust me." Tommy said, "I see, once I get changed into a girl, I stay a girl and modify my mannerism to feminine, and that would be easier if I stayed a girl until I give the message. I just thought of something, what if they ask for some form of ID?" Mother said, "Had not thought of that. Okay Tommy, you have been changed to like a girl, and when asked your name, you say?" Tommy looked at his mother and thought my name as a girl would be something that could only be a girl's name. He said, "Jennifer Lynn Newton, that is the name I would have as a girl." "Don't worry, I will handle that for you, and I may be able to get some things to make your transition to a girl easier." Mother said, "One more thing, take a bath and get rid of all your body hair. You first step into the world of femininity." Tommy said, "I am going to take my bath, then it is off to bed." He went down the hall and his mind was reeling at all that had been decided in order to help him become more feminine. Entering the bathroom, he started to draw a bath. He noticed his mother's bath beads and thought, why not? He poured them into the water. He began to smell the aroma of honeysuckle, lavender, and rose. He picks up one of his mother's pink razors and with her shaving gel, he lowered himself into the tub. First, he would start on his right foot and do the rest of the leg and repeat on the left foot and leg. Then on to his torso, arms, and underarms. He did not have much hair, however, having dark brown hair it did show, except his face he still did not have to shave. When he was done, he took a towel and wrapped it around his chest under the arms and it hung down to mid-thigh. He placed his shoulder-length hair in a towel like he had seen his mother do. He wiped the full-length mirror to see what he looked. Not good, just 2 towels and I look like girl. That is why he was so scared. How could he think of himself as a boy when he was going to be a girl for 2 weeks? And to do it right, Mother had said, you need to bring out the female half of your sex genes. He asked, what female half? Sex chromosomes. Boys and men have XY sex chromosomes. The Y comes from the father and the X from the mother, so half of your sex chromosomes come from me. Bring that half out, it should be easier for you. It seems that your sex chromosomes are quite equal. He thought as he admired the girl looking back at him, okay, Mother was right, it should be easy for me to be more feminine. After all, he never was really masculine, and that was the problem. If he put all his effort into being a girl, then how could he stop? He reaches to get his bathrobe and Mother had replaced it with a new soft pink that a girl might wear. He thought Mother had already started his time as a girl, and when he looked on his bed he saw a nightgown, a pink one that was covered with flowers. Mother did say 24/7 as a girl, and an added surprise, pink panties. He put the panties on, then slid the nightgown over his outstretched arms, pulling down past his head, and let the rest of the nightgown fall down to mid-calf. He was not tired, so he put the pink bathrobe on over his new sleepwear and went to find Mother. He saw her as she closed the page on the computer and said, Mother, thank you for the new bathrobe and nightgown. Why start right now? She turned to look at him in the pink bathrobe and said, well, smooth body and smelling so sweat like a girl does after her bath. Ask yourself what girls grab for after they dry themselves off, and what would they wear to bed? Tommy said, they would wear what I have on. That's right, she said, you should go to bed, young lady, your day is going to be life-changing for weeks. As Tommy turned to go his room, wait a minute, she said, young lady. He just accepted that until this was over, Mother was going to treat him like a girl. Uncertain that how he would feel about the total immersion into total femininity, would he like himself more as a girl rather than a boy? No need to worry about that now, so he decided not to tell his mother until he knew how he felt. He went to bed, and after tossing for a little bit, sleep came for him. His mother was trying to find something on the internet to help with this change of appearance and the necessary development of a feminine persona. On page 10 of the not-so-helpful links, she found a link that held out the promise of the best and newest in gender role-changing appliances. She tapped the link and was brought to a site that had what she thought would be of great help. 2 items that she selected were available at Advanced Prosthetics. She knew that Tommy might be uncertain as to the need, however, this is one of the times that mother knows best. Tommy got up and was at first at a loss as to why he was wearing a nightgown, then he remembered. Fine, he thought, it does not matter what I am wearing, I have to go. He quickly noticed that the grab and aim method would not work. He pulled the pink panties down, then lifted the nightgown and sat down to pee. He washed his hands, face, and brushed his teeth. He went to grab for the underarm deodorant, and it was not there, gone. He thought mother again, girls should not smell like boys, and to prove his point, mother's underarm deodorant was all there was to use. He could still perceive the floral bouquet that the bath had given him. There was no reason not to use mother's underarm deodorant. He already had the aroma of a girl. He felt that this would only get worse. He got back to his bedroom and mother had come in while he was in the bathroom. He had no underwear in the drawer that should have been full. Instead, he found a nice note from mother. Jennifer, I have removed all your boy clothes and they are out of reach. I have laid out a nice pair of slacks and a blouse, a pink camisole, tan knee-highs, and a pair of black slip-ons with 2-inch heels. Things would go much smoother if you called Big Ed and asked for a ride to school. Then you could tell him your answer and explain that your mother will only allow it on her terms. The school intercom will ask for you to come to the office. Do not forget to tell him to call Mary and have her get you in at 1 p.m. Love, mother. Mother is very detail-orientated. The task is to have me get used to dressing like a girl. I guess dress as a girl, see the girl, be the girl. I do not think it will be that easy. First glimpse, Tommy looked at the outfit. He thought maybe I should have said, no way, send me to another school, please mother. She would have come back with something akin to, if you run from your problems now, a quitter is what you will become. In her own way, she was trying to prepare him for life. He took the nightgown off and slid into the camisole down his torso. It was so shiny and smooth on his skin, not the rough cotton of his t-shirt. He slid his arms into the blouse. It was lavender. It buttoned up on the side he was not used to. It was a women's blouse. It went past his hips and looked like it was half of a panty. There were snaps that, when pressed together with the rear, did indeed form a panty. How neat, he thought. No more, tuck that shirt in. He pulled the knee-highs on, bunching them, sliding them up his smooth legs, coming to stop at just above his knees. He grabbed the slacks and looked for the zipper, only discover it did not have a zipper. A 2-inch band of elastic did double duty. It replaced the zipper and belt. The slacks themselves were a shiny black, not the dull black that he would wear. He pulled them on and stopped at just above his hips. Because of the high band of elastic, it helped give a well-defined waist. Almost hourglass figure, however, no breasts. Oh no, he would need breasts. He could not believe he had just thought of that. Girls his age usually had breasts, some small, some medium, and other were large. He could not help but to think, how big did his mother feel his breasts needed to be? He was about to put his cell phone in his back pocket when he found out no pockets, back or front, and the blouse did not have a pocket. It was then he saw it on the bed, a black leather shoulder strap purse. His mother had thought of the need to carry his things. He opened it up and saw a woman's billfold. Most of the contents of his old wallet had made the transfer. However, the picture of the model in a bikini did not make it. One of the compartments held a brush for his hair. He grabbed it and started to brush his hair, then put it back into the purse. The last compartment was labeled cosmetics. He could not help himself. He had to look, and he was shocked when he saw it did indeed have makeup at the compartment for cosmetics. Not too much, ruby red lipstick, a compact, mascara and blusher. Odd thing, he knew what each item was and where it should be used. He had seen his mother use those items before, however, these were new. After his shock, he put the makeup back into its compartment and put the shoes his mother had decided that he would wear. His feet slid easily into the shoes, then it hit him like a ton of bricks. Everything was new and it all fit. Mother bought it just for him. He walked over to the full-length mirror after he had put the purse on his shoulder. As he got closer to the mirror, he could start to see the image of a girl looking back at him. She was pretty, however, really flat-chested. It gave him pause, and for just a moment he forgot he was the girl in the mirror. He could not believe the change. He already looked more like a girl, and there were more changes planned. He called Big Ed on his cell phone. He said, "Have you left for school yet?" "No, I am still at home," was Big Ed's answer. Tommy said, "Can you come by and pick me up? I have an answer to what you wanted me to do." Big Ed said, "Sure, I will give you a ride." A minute later and you would have been walking. "I'll be right over." They both hung up and Big Ed was there in 5 minutes. While normally it was close to a 7-minute drive, he must want to know the answer. As Tommy was walking to the car, he could tell that Big Ed had seen the change in his appearance. He opened the door and said, "Morning, do I really have to tell you my answer?" Big Ed said, "From the way you look, you decided to help get a message to Amy, thank you." Tommy said, "Yes, however," Mother said, "there is more to being a girl than just looking like one. She told me that I would have to know how to act like a girl, and the only way to be sure that I don't slip on and let on that I am a boy is to learn feminine mannerisms and adopt a feminine persona. That means for the next 2 weeks you will dress as a girl 24/7. She had me start last night and taking a bath and removing what little hair I had. While I was doing that, she exchanged my bathrobe for a girl's one pink. She had me sleep in a pair of pink panties, a pink nightgown. Long story short, what I am wearing is all I have to wear. All my boy clothes are gone." She also said, "Tell Big Ed to have Mary see me at 1 p.m. Call her when we get to school. Mother is going to pick up from school. She is going to give them a reason for me not to be in school for the next 2 weeks, and she will get me an ID that will be in my girl's name just in case St. Mary's wants identification. So, my name will be Jennifer Lynn Newton." Big Ed said, "I guess your mother knows what she is talking about, the ID or acting like a boy in a dress. 2 weeks as a girl, that is something." Tommy said, "Mother said, the school intercom will tell me to report to the office before I go to any classes. I have started on my journey into womanhood. What a strange trip it will be." Big Ed said, "You are on your way." Just for a moment I wondered who the girl was walking up to my car. Tommy said, "I know what you mean. For a moment I wondered why there was a girl looking back at me from the mirror. However, she was very flat-chested." They both had a laugh at that. When they got to the parking lot, Big Ed said, "Going to call Mary right now. I will see you later sometime." Tommy said, "The next time you see me, remember my name is Jennifer, even I don't think I look like a boy." As he was walking away from Big Ed's car, he could hear the school's intercom requesting him to go to the office. He thought Mother is very prompt. He went to the office and Mother was waiting for him. She must have said something about the change in his appearance because nobody made any comments about his new look. He acted surprised and said, "Mother, what's up?" Mother said, "Your Aunt Lucy, your father's sister, is in the hospital, and the doctors think it would be best if we come out there just in case. They are not able to improve her condition. They are getting your classwork, so this is not a vacation. If it longer than 2 weeks we will work something out. You can wait in the car." Tommy said, "Sorry to hear about Aunt Lucy. I will go to the car." "Oh, where is it?" Mother said, "In a visitor's space, silly." Tommy could tell Mother almost said, "Silly girl, and the 2 weeks has just started." Mother was out in just a few minutes and got into the car. She held out a large envelope and said, "Jennifer, here are your assignments for the next 2 weeks." Tommy was lost in his thoughts and did not realize that Mother had called him Jennifer. She tapped him on the shoulder. As he turned to see her, she said, "Jennifer, did you forget your name? You need to remember your name. Here are your assignments." "Sorry, Mother, I was lost in my thoughts," he said. "I would not have heard any name." Mother said, "First place we go is for 2 items that will help you with your changeover from a boy to a girl. The place is called Advanced Prosthetics. It is a research and development lab for males that have gender dysphoria. They can help you with what you are missing and what is not really needed at this time." "Mother, I thought I would have some time before I mention the subject of gender dysphoria," he said. "I believe that I have some form of it. That is the biggest problem. It is like I am in between genders, too much like a girl to be a boy, but I have that thing hanging and girls don't have one. It has been really hard for me to try to fit in as a boy. I like having girls as friends, however, I don't feel right trying to be a boyfriend. It just feels wrong." Mother turned to look at her child, smiled, and said, "I know. I have known that this day might happen. When you were born, the doctors said, there is a problem with your child's genital area. It appears that there is a small male member and an attempt at the formation of opening for female genitalia. So, which would you prefer, a boy or a girl? Please don't be mad. I had lost your father and hoped that you could be like him. However, I picked wrong." He said, "Then I am not crazy. I should be a girl. I have always wanted to be just like my mother, but boys are not supposed to want to be like their mothers." He looked over at his mother and she seemed to be crying. "I thought that if it did what Big Ed asked, I would not want to be a boy again, but it is okay, Mother. I could be happy being Jennifer Lynn. Don't be mad at me because I would rather be your daughter than your son." Mother said, "We are here. Perhaps this is the right place after all." They entered the building and at the reception desk Mother asked for Dr. Wilson. A few minutes a tall man in a white lab coat came over a clipboard and said, "I am Dr. Wilson. You must be Mrs. Newton. As we discussed, we have a new product that is, pardon the pun, just what the doctor ordered. However, this technique has not gone through all of the product trials yet, so if you and your child would like to be part of the trial, there would be no charge." Tommy looked at his mother and said, "What 2 items did you discuss?" Mother said, "Breasts and a cover for the little thing, so you will look like a girl, even with no clothes on. Do you want to proceed with the trial?" He turned to look at her and said, "Of course, I want to be part of the trial." He turned to Dr. Wilson and said, "We are in agreement. I want to be part of the trial." "Fantastic," Dr. Wilson said. "Just a few forms to fill out, standard stuff. Now how about the size of the breasts? I should warn you that this technique is a new bonding, and it will feel as if the breasts are a part of your body. The bigger they are, the more weight you will feel." Tommy looks at Mother. His eyes were wide with a desperate pleading. "Help," he said. "What size? Not too big, but not too small." Mother said, "An A cup would be small, and a D cup would be too big. So, it is between a B cup or a C cup. I think you would like to have C cup breasts." Tommy said, "C cup is the size." Dr. Wilson said, "Follow me to the product installation room." The room turned out to look like a normal doctor's exam room. Dr. Wilson said, "Your mother can stay if you want. Disrobe and climb onto the exam table, everything comes off." Tommy took all the clothes off and climbed onto the exam table. He sat there not knowing what to do. Dr. Wilson said, "Lay down with your head at this end and put your feet into the stirrups. I will have strap your thighs. The supports can't have you moving during installation." "Wait just a minute, Mrs. Newton, was there a problem at birth?" Mother said, "Yes, there was." "Why?" Dr. Wilson said, "I need to be sure, so I am going to have an ultrasound of the pelvic area. Then if I am right, you will have an opportunity to restore the female genitalia. Don't want to get your hopes up. We need to look at the results of the ultrasound first. I will be right back." After the doctor left the room, Tommy said, did he just say restore female genitalia? Mother said, I know, I heard that too. We need to see what the ultrasound shows. Dr. Wilson returned rolling a cart with what should be an ultrasound machine. He went about hooking it up, he said. Normally a nurse tech would do this, however, I thought I would do it in order to keep your details to a minimum of people. Dr. Wilson began the ultrasound and was saying out loud, on the right it is there and on the left the same, so good so far, and there is the, no wait, it stops 3 to 4 inch short. Okay, here is what I found, everything is in there is just stops short, however, there is another product that can be used. I need to numb your chest and genital area. Wait, I am getting ahead of the situation. With the other product it can be modified, and a fully functional female reproductive system would be the end result. Is that what you want? Tommy looked at his mother and said, yes, if there is a chance, I could be a normal girl and become a woman, I am will to try it. Mother was doing it again, crying. Tommy had not noticed before that on the tray below the ultrasound machine were 2 breasts and what looked the proper opening for a girl. He was going to have a vagina. Dr. Wilson said, change of plans, I will need to do some mirror surgery. I will rearrange what you have down there, and when I am done, you may have your sex list on your ID as female. Still, okay? Tommy and his mother both said, yes. Dr. Wilson said, I will need a nurse to assist me, sorry, cannot be helped. Tommy said, it is okay, I will be a girl when I wake up. It was just under 2 hours when Tommy woke up. He asked, is over, I am a girl? Dr. Wilson said, everything went fine and yes, you are a girl. The products used have a new molecular bonding system, and over time they will a part of your body as if they had been there all your life. I did use a part of that big clit, that is what it really was. Now it will not only look right, you can have the same pleasure response as any girl. Don't be surprised if in a month you have a period. Good, no bleeding, you can leave in 30 minutes, no heavy lifting for at least 2 weeks, and I want to see you then. I will leave you to dress. Tommy said, thank you, for making things right. Dr. Wilson said, you are welcome, then he left the room. A real girl, mother said, you are going to need this. She held up a pink bra. Tommy said, I am a girl, and my name is Jennifer Lynn Newton, and I am your daughter. However, I will need help with the bra. Mother came over to her daughter and helped her into her first bra. She hooked the hooks in back and adjusted the straps. She asked, how do you feel? Pain? Not too bad. Not much pain, but I do feel some discomfort. I can deal with it, her new daughter said. Mother said, that is good to hear. Are you hungry? Yes, I could eat something, Jennifer said. She had just finished dressing and looked at herself in the mirror on the wall above the sink. Mother, could you help me with put on the makeup you bought for me? Mother said, you saw the makeup, and yes, I bought it for you. She applied the little bit of makeup to her daughter, explaining how to apply the mascara, the trick to eyeliner on the lower eyelid above the eyelashes just outside the eyeball, blusher, and the ruby red lipstick. What do you think? Jennifer turned to the mirror, she said, wow, I really look better as a girl. Mother said, that must mean that you like it. That beauty shop Mary works at is near the mall, so it would be better to go there for lunch. Stop admiring your reflection, Jennifer. Sorry, Jennifer said, I really see myself as a girl. I still need to acquire the appropriate mannerisms. I really feel like a girl. No wait, I am a girl. Come on, we need to go, Mother said. They made their way to the car and proceeded to the mall. Mother parked the car, and they entered the mall. She gave Jennifer tips on how to walk and hold her arms. She said, observe the other girls and modify your movements, and you will have this part of being a girl down. Jennifer was trying to walk as her mother had said, however, she had a little too much sway to her hips. Not that much sway, a little bit less movement. Yes, that is better, Mother said. As they were about to pass the earring spot in the middle of the aisle, Mother said, "Stop here. You know most girls your age have their ears pierced, so you need to have your ears done. I think 2 studs in each earlobe should do for now. If you want a 3rd set you can do that later, and you can pay for them." "These earrings are my treat," Jennifer said. "2 will be fine." Then in a whisper, "This is all so new to me." In less time than the wait to be seen and get waited on, Jennifer had 2 golden studs in each earlobe. She looked at the job the girl had done and was still amazed that the girl in the mirror was her new and improved self, 100% a girl. She said, "Thanks, Mother, they are just what I needed, and when they heal the gold hoop earrings will look nice." They made their way to the food court and decided to get something from the Oriental Express. Mother had the sweet and sour chicken and Jennifer had the pepper steak. Both had sweet tea to drink. After their meal, Mother said, "Just 2 quick stops for the outfit you will wear this afternoon for the ID picture. First, dress and heels." The first stop was shoe show. Jennifer left wearing a pair of 3.5-inch high heels that were black open-toed with ankle straps and a slender heel. She had never worn heels this high before. A few missed steps and she was walking with a great deal of pride. She was getting quite good at navigating this new height. The second stop was at Discount Fashion's. Mother led Jennifer over to the young Miss department and started to pick a dress, holding it up and asking, "Do you like this dress?" This was done quite a few times until she said, "You really don't have a clue, so I will pick one for you." Mother was right. Jennifer did not have a clue as how a girl picks out a dress to wear. "So much to learn," she said. "I am really new at all of this, remember." "Mother, I think a couple of magazines aimed at teen girls would be a good way for me to learn." Mother said, "Getting over your shell shock, that's a good sign." She held up a dress saying, "This dress will look great on you. Take it and try it on." "Wait, here is a pair of pantyhose." Knee-highs are good for slacks, but pantyhose works for a dress. That is something girls know, and now you know too. Jennifer grabbed the dress and pantyhose and went to the changing room. She took off the high heels, slacks and knee-highs and did quite well for her first attempt at donning pantyhose. She unbuttoned her blouse, removed the camisole, and stepped into the dress, putting her arms through the sleeveless opening. She noticed 2 things. 1, she could not zip the dress up all the way. 2, this bra was wrong for this dress. "Mother, can you help me please?" she said. Mother entered the changing room and said, "What do you need?" Jennifer said, "I do need help with the zipper. However, this bra is wrong for this dress. I don't know what type of bra goes with this dress, but this one is wrong. A good third of the bra cups can be seen." Mother looked and said, "The type of bra is one that has straps at the shoulders and pushes up and in to maximize cleavage. So, while you get out of the dress, I will get the bra you need." "Oh, you can put your heels back on too." "Yes, Mother," she said. Jennifer was doing as Mother instructed. She carefully got out of the dress, putting it back on the hanger, putting the heels back on. She thought, might as well take this bra off. She unhooked the bra and let it fall down her arms and put it on the seat. She turned to look at her breasts. "These are just a C-cup, they seem big." She laughed. "I was very flat, of course they look big." It was the first time she had a good look at her breasts. She could not help herself, she had to touch them. It was quite a shock to find that they were as warm as the rest of her body. She felt for a seam and could not find one. Next, she gently placed her hands around them and felt their weight. She continued her exploration by rubbing the nipple of her right breast. Wow, it felt wonderful. She applied more pressure with her thumb and forefinger. She felt a small shock that made its way to the pleasure center of the brain and then down to her new love button. However, that was out of bounds. Not so, the other breast. As she started to get the feeling. "Jennifer, what are you doing?" Mother said. Jennifer felt like she was 5 again and caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Embarrassed, she turned to face Mother. I was just trying to feel for a seam, and while I just got carried away. They feel so real," she said. Mother said, "Let me see, you are right. No seam and warm to the touch." The doctor did say that would happen over time, however, it has only been hours. Strange. Maybe the product is much better than they know. Let me help you with this bra and then I will zip you up. After Mother had helped her, she turned to gaze at her appearance. She was very striking. The dress was black and only came down to the midpoint of her thighs. It was tight and showed her curves. Damn, I have curves, Jennifer thought. The straps covered the straps of the bra and was quite low cut, showing her cleavage. She said, "Mother, my breasts are showing." Mother laughed and said, "Of course they are, when you have got them, girl, you flaunt them, and you have them. Now get yourself together, you don't want to be late for your appointment with Mary." Jennifer got over her embarrassment, got the clothes she had been wearing, grabbed her purse and left the changing room. Luckily, the anti-theft device could be removed by a handheld tool. It was all so surreal, as if she were just an onlooker to the events of the day, although the events were happening to her. They made their way to the car. Jennifer put her clothes from earlier on the back seat and was about to flop down in the passenger seat when Mother said, "Not like that. A lady sits with both feet together sideways, then she turns into the car keeping her legs together, and smooth your dress out before you sit down. Time and practice. After I tell Mary the look we want for your ID picture, I need to get the legal paperwork in order for your name change. I will be back to pick you." Mother parked the car, and they entered the beauty shop part of the new Image Day Spa and Beauty Shop where Mary worked. Mother asked for Mary, then said, "Big Ed did tell you about the need for an appointment for Jennifer. This is Jennifer." She took Mary off to the side and explained what needed to be done. "Jennifer, Mary knows what needs to be done. Call me when she is done." Jennifer said, "Yes, Mother." She followed Mary to her station and sat down in the chair as Mother had told her how a lady sits down. As Mary was putting a pink smock over her dress, she could not help but look at Jennifer's breasts. She said, "You really don't look anything like Tommy. How did you get breasts that look so real?" Jennifer said, "I will tell you, but not here." Mary said, "Okay, later. Your mother told me just to trim your split ends, then a shampoo and set. Followed by a manicure and pedicure in a ruby red to match your lipstick. Then comes the bush out and style for your hair, and I will finish your makeup." Jennifer said, "Sounds good, however, I would like some highlights to my hair." Mary said, "Your mother told me what she wanted." Jennifer came back with, "Mother wants me to be a girl, and I see a lot of girls at school with highlights, so if I am going to be a girl then I want highlights." Mary said, "Okay, highlights." Ops back at Advanced Prosthetics, Dr. Wilson was reflecting on the first case, gender misperception at birth, and was indeed quite pleased that he could right the wrong choice from the doctors at the child's birth. He felt the room grow cold and looked up to see him standing in front of his desk. He knew this man, the tattered old bathrobe with stars and all types of moons. He said, "Where did you come from?" The old man said, "I was looking in on your work this morning and you forgot to add the programming that would cause new girls to want to dance at a strip club. Why did you not add the programming?" Dr. Wilson knew what this old man could do and did not want to be on his bad side. He said, "A fine point to make. She was a girl and I only helped to correct the error if the doctors at her birth. Not a boy that wanted to be a girl, those are the ones we agreed upon, not a case like hers." The old man said, "You don't have a new product, bio whatever it is, my magic. You should have asked me first. So, here is something to remind you of how you get your success." He folded his arms and said words in a tongue known by a few wizards such as himself. Then in the blink of an eye he was gone. Dr. Wilson could not tell what type of reminder he was going to receive, nothing yet. Damn, he thought that a little too soon. His chest began to burn. With the burning came his reminder he was growing breasts. They kept expanding and the buttons of his shirt blew off, and still they were growing. The heat was becoming less and stopped. He slipped the shirt off and went to see what the old had done. His breasts bounced and swayed with each step. He saw them huge double DS. No way would he ever forget to contact the old man in the future. As with all the old man's personal magic, all of his contacts always knew he was the first to try out the new product. He would not use any product without testing it, and because his breasts were from magic, they could never be removed by surgery. Unlike the clients, he knew he did not have breasts before the old man gave them to him. Still, he did not regret helping Tommy become Jennifer, the girl she should have been. Photo-ready Jennifer was still somewhat dumbfounded with all the new truths about herself, lost in thought when Mary said, "First I need to start on your hair, shampoo, and conditioner, then back here to my chair for the trim and highlights after I rinse the conditioner out. I will set your hair on curlers. While your hair starts to dry, Janice will do your fingernails and toenails. When she is done, I will put you under a dryer until your hair is dry, then style it and do your makeup. Your mother informed me that she would like you to look just a little older, as this photo on your ID will be the look you will use until the next time you renew it, and if I do a really good job, you may want to reuse the photo." Jennifer followed Mary and the process that had started with the need Big Ed had for Tommy to take a message to Amy. Feeling more at ease with her newly found information that she was a girl at birth and wrongly made to live as a boy. She understood why Mother thought that things would be okay to have her changed to appear as a boy. However, this body was that of a girl, and that is why Tommy never felt quite right with being a boy. All those feeling about being somehow not quite right with the blending of mind and body made sense. Her mind was right, it was a girl's mind, and it was unescapable. A girl's mind wants to have the body of a girl. Jennifer was more or less on autopilot and was not aware of how much had been done when she heard Mary say, "In 15 minutes the highlighter needs to be rinsed out. I will be back, just look at a magazine." Jennifer looked down, spying a copy of Teen Beat, and thought I might be able to find some inspiration pertaining to young girls and the look that is in style. It was captivating. She did not want to put it down. Although she had only been completed to 100% female for a few hours, she wanted to be aware as to today's trends. Mary returned saying, "All right, young lady, time to rinse." Once Mary had rinsed her hair and was sure all the highlighters had been rinsed out, "Follow me back to my chair and I will set your hair." Jennifer still had the magazine in her hand, holding on to it as it lay on her lap. She said, "Could I take this with me? There is an article on the hot new colors for fall and winter." "Sure," Mary said, "you can look at it until I finish setting your hair. However, when Janice comes to get you, it will not be possible to hold the magazine. Remember, she is going to do your fingernails and toenails." As Mary was finishing setting her hair, Jennifer said, "I like this look for eyes." She showed Mary a photo of the look she wanted. "Do you think you could make my eyes look like this?" Mary took the magazine and looked at the photo, then said, "Yes, I could do that, and that look will be great on you. The colors complement your dress. I am finished for now." Mary waved Janice over to collect Jennifer. After Janice and Jennifer had left her station, Mary was deep in thought. She still could not believe what her eyes had been telling her. Impossible and not natural for a boy to look so much better as a girl. However, Jennifer seemed to be a girl. Perhaps she had been a tomboy, that everyone thought was a boy. No, that's not it. She remembered that all the boys in the locker room that had seen Tommy's small male part, no bigger than a little finger, and the ball sack had not formed no balls. So, how can what she has seen of Jennifer be in any way be Tommy? When Big Ed had called her to set up the appointment, he did say, "Make under the name Jennifer, because there would be no need to make harder on Tommy. Do your best to make Jennifer believable as a girl." However, she had recognized Mrs. Newton and thought that the girl with her was a girl, not the boy Tommy. She thought if there was such a thing as magic, then it could be explained. She laughed to herself. She just could not produce anything else. Janice quickly went to work on Jennifer's hands and had the nail tips applied to the right hand and trimmed them to the length. She began to work on the left. Jennifer could lift her right hand and was quite amazed at the change that just having longer fingernails, even if they were mostly the result of the nail tips that Janice had just applied, she could not wait to see her fingernails once the nail polish had been applied. 5 minutes later, she had her freshly applied nail color to her new longer fingernails, and she was having another first, a pedicure. Janice said, "Be incredibly careful, try not to damage your nails. They need about 15 to 20 minutes more to set the color. You can go back to Mary's station. I will bring your pantyhose and high heels over to you." Jennifer said, "Thank you, you did a very good job." She was looking at her toenails and thought they do look nice, pretty even. However, her fingernails looked great, long and feminine. She was so happy that she would not have to pretend to be a boy. Mary said, "That color looks great on you, let me check your hair." "Not quite dry, 10 minutes under the dryer, then I will start on your makeup and finish styling your hair, so you will be done in 20 minutes. Almost forgot, call your mother, and tell her when to pick you up." Jennifer called Mother. "Mother, Mary will be done with me, and I will be ready to go in 20 minutes. Mother said, "That sounds great, however, something has come up at work, so can you call Big Ed and have him take you to the DMV? I have everything you need to provide in order to have your name changed. I will drop the paperwork off with you." Jennifer said, "Mary, I need to make one more call. Big Ed, this is Jennifer, could you please get me? Mother cannot take me to the DMV, besides, you can see the new me." Big Ed said, "Well, if you need me then I should. You would not be doing this if I had not asked you." "When?" "Sorry," Jennifer said, 25 minutes should be okay." She ended the call and said, "Mary, I am ready to be finished." Mary took Jennifer over to one of the rows of dryers and had her sit under the dryer, setting the timer for 10 minutes. Jennifer wondered what had come up at her mother's job that she makes her miss the DMV. However, Big Ed was going to be there for her. The timer bell rang, and Mary brought her back and started on her makeup. She not only told her what she was doing but also gave Jennifer the knowledge that she did not experience other girls her age had with makeup. She had a lot of new information but was quite confident she could reproduce the same look. Jennifer had seen the products that Mary was using, however, this was the first time ever have her makeup done other than the little mother had put on her. Jennifer paid close attention to every detail. She was sure there were tricks that could be used to make the application easier. She would just have to learn them and quickly. Mary said, "Just finishing your makeup. I know you want to see, however, the best look will be when I style your hair, then it will be the total package." She started to unwind her hair from the rollers and before long she was finished. "Okay, you can look." Jennifer stood and turned to behold her appearance in the mirror. Although the view was only from the waist up, she was quite pleased with what she saw. She asked, "Mary, is there a full-length mirror?" Mary replied, "No, if you back up you could see a little more." Jennifer looked behind and started to back up. The best she could do was a view to just past her knees. She added to this by looking down to see what was missing her heels. She could not help but think, "I am not a plain Jane. I look better than most of the girls at school and that could be a big problem." She was better looking than Amy. What would be Big Ed's reaction? Mary asked, "Jennifer, do you like what you see?" "Yes, I do like it very much. I didn't know I would look so good, it's unbelievable the change. Big Ed told me you were good, but he was wrong." "You are amazing," Jennifer said. Mary said, "It was easy, impossible for me to make you anything less than the natural beauty that you are, must be good genes. Your mother has the same type of natural beauty, must run in the family. Your visit is paid for by your mother, so you can go." Jennifer thanked Mary again for the excellent work. "I needed to call Mother." She got her cell phone out and made the call. It rang. Jennifer said, "Mary told me I was done, ready to go anytime. Mother said, "That's great, plenty of time for you to get to the DMV, however, something has come up at work and I will only be able to bring you all the paperwork you will need. You will need to call or text Big Ed, have him come pick you up and take you to the DMV. I'll be there soon." Mother would not let Jennifer say a word other than bye. Jennifer thought she would have more time before needing to see Big Ed. She sent him a text, "Call me ASAP." A minute later Big Ed was calling her. "What's up?" Jennifer said, "Some urgent matter came up at Mother's job and she can only bring me the paperwork I'll need at the DMV. Can you pick me up and give me a ride, please?" Big Ed said, "Sure, I can do that. You would not need to go to the DMV if I had not asked you to get the message to Amy. I'll be there ASAP." Then he laughed. Jennifer was glad that he could not see her smile as she listened to his laugh. Trouble great, Jennifer thought as Mother pulled up and waved her over to her car. Mother said, "Here's what you need to take to the DMV. Is Big Ed on his way?" Jennifer still had the envelope in her hand as she was about to say that he was on the way when Big Ed was parking right next to her. "So," she said, "he just parked behind, next to your car." Big Ed got out of his car. He knew Mrs. Newton's car. He did not know the girl to which she was talking. Mother knew that Big Ed did not know to call the former boy that he thought he was picking up, Jennifer. Mother said, "Big Ed, this is Jennifer, and she will need the ride and she will explain the cover story. Thank you for doing this." She had Jennifer lean into the car saying in almost a whisper, "As far as anyone else knows, Tommy is staying with your aunt's family and Jennifer is staying with me." Jennifer marveled at how fast her mother's mind can control the narrative. Jennifer turned to face Big Ed, and for the first time as a girl she knew what the term undressing someone with your eyes felt like. She was right, this could be a problem. She said, "If you took a picture, you would not have to keep staring at me." He said, "I was expecting someone else." Jennifer said, "I don't mean to rush you, however, it would be much easier to get into your car if you opened the door. A gentleman would." Big Ed was at a loss. He should have known to open the door. He opened the door and said, "Sorry." Jennifer remembered how her mother had told her to get in and out of a car and did the maneuver as if she had always been doing it. His eyes took in all he could, her face, her breasts and her legs, and he forgot to close the door. Jennifer said, "I am in, you can close the door. And take me to the DMV, please." Big Ed got in the car, started it without having to be told, and they were on the way. He said, "Okay, I am a little confused at the moment. I was expecting Tommy, but his mother said you needed the ride." Jennifer held her hand up, saying, "You are Edward Johnston, Big Ed, and my name is Jennifer Newton. This morning you thought I was a girl. You were right, I was. I did not know myself, however, it is true that I thought I was a boy." She laughed. "It really came as a shock to me, and most people would say it was impossible. So, as far as anyone else knows, Tommy is staying with his aunt's family and I will be staying with his mother. I guess I should thank you. If you had not asked Tommy to get a message to Amy, I might still think I was a boy." Big Ed said, "No way. You are Jennifer and Tommy has told you about me. That explains it." Jennifer said, "Take me to the DMV and after I get my new ID, I will show you the proof." Big Ed said, "DMV is on the right." He parked and did not have to be told to open the door. It was hard not to look like he was staring at her. He could not take his eyes off of her. He watched her as she walked to the door of the DMV. It proved to be more than his teenage libido could handle. He had to get back in his car before anyone would see the enlarging male member. He would have to see the proof that Jennifer claimed to have. Too unbelievable. When he saw Jennifer returning from the DMV after only 10 minutes, she was smiling. He thought she is so hot and sexy, and he felt the problem returning. Have to stop looking at her. No way, he could not take his eyes off her. However, he did turn away, so he would not know that he should open the door for her. He could not do that. Too obvious the effect she had on him. He turned his head only after she had sat down. Back so soon, I did not see you. Jennifer held up her new driver's license saying, I got it. She handed it over to Big Ed. Read what it says. He took it from her, and besides her name, Jennifer Newton, the sex was listed as female. Jennifer said, this may help you to believe. She handed the statement from Dr. Wilson, attesting to the change of biological sex, and Jennifer Newton should be classified as female. He said, okay, it seems that you have the proof, but how? Jennifer said, not here, drive me home. She did not want to end up at his home. My house where you picked up Tommy this morning, and I will explain what I can. She had turned to talk to Big Ed. She really did not mean to look, however, there was no doubt, it was plain to see. She turned her head quickly. She hoped that Big Ed did not see her looking at what could well be the reason for the big in the name. Mother was already home, and asking Big Ed to come inside would be much safer. Big Ed knew to open the door for Jennifer. He was standing by the car and offered his hand to Jennifer, making the exit from the car much easier. She said, thank you for all your help. Come inside and we can get the story. I'm here and Tommy isn't. Big Ed said, yes, I really want to know. Jennifer opened the front door and called out, Mother, I asked Big Ed to come in, as I really don't know how to explain me. Mother said, Jennifer, take Big Ed to the kitchen and get him something to drink, and I will be right there. Yes, Mother, she said. Turning to Big Ed, she motioned for him to follow her. Have a seat. Iced tea or a soft drink? Big Ed replied, iced tea would be fine. Mother entered the kitchen and said, thank you for taking Jennifer to the DMV and bringing her home. Okay, you know that Tommy is gone, and as far as anyone else knows, he has gone to be with his aunt's family. However, Jennifer is the girl that she should have been, if I had not asked the doctors at her birth to correct what at the time was an error in the development of the genitals. A new biomedical procedure was used, and Tommy is now Jennifer. I am sure that Jennifer would not want everybody to know that it is a private matter, and should be kept that way. Any thoughts on the matter? Mother looked at both Jennifer and Big Ed. To her surprise, Big Ed came up with the answer. He said, twin sister that you had to give up. Being recently widowed, 2 babies would have been too hard on you, and your husband's sister offered to raise your daughter. Jennifer is here to get to know her birth mother. Mother said, that is a lot easier, and only the 3 of us need to know the truth. Big Ed, can you keep Jennifer's secret? Big Ed smiled and said, I will keep her secret. So, Jennifer, I need a new tutor. Jennifer knew that there would be no way to say no. She said, as soon as we can get my school records sent, one problem solved and a new one. I guess I will take your message to Amy. Big Ed looked lost for a moment and said, right, I will put together a message for Amy. Jennifer, let me know when to pick you up in the morning for school. I need to get home myself. After thanks and goodbyes, he left. Jennifer turned to Mother. She said, I thought that when Big Ed saw me, he forgot all about Amy. It is like I had to remind him that he has a girlfriend. Mother said, I do believe that you are right. What are you going to do about it? Jennifer said, first, I need school records, then I will worry about Big Ed. Reality modification. The wizard was looking into the crystal ball and thought that a little help would not hurt. He thought Big Ed had the right idea. He said the words, and before him was an envelope that had a birth certificate and the school records for Jennifer Newton. Then the envelope vanished. It was the next stop for the FedEx driver. The driver did not remember this stop or the envelope. However, it looked real and needed to be delivered. He stopped in front of the house, walked up to the front door, and rang the doorbell. As the door opened, he said, "Delivery for Ms. Jennifer Newton." Mrs. Newton took the envelope and thanked the driver. She closed the door. She turned to Jennifer saying, "This came for you." Jennifer took the envelope, seeing her name on the front of the envelope said, "Strange, I have just become Jennifer. How can I have something sent to me?" She opened the envelope. She could not believe her eyes. She said, "Mother, everything that I said I would need is right here, birth certificate and school records." Mother took the documents from her daughter and said, "I don't know how these appear to be real. The grade school and mid-school and high school are all from the city and county where your aunt lives. However, the birth certificate is from the same hospital where you were born. All the information is the same except Jennifer, and of course the sex is listed as female and a notation, twin. It looks like Big Ed's story is going to work. Jennifer is the twin I gave up at birth. Changing the name and sex of your birth certificate would have been the next thing to do. In the morning, we can have you enrolled. You should be able to pick up where you had been in your classwork." The wizard set the crystal ball to alert him whenever Jennifer and Big Ed were together. He was sure that sparks would fly. Jennifer said, "It would seem that I now have to deal with Big Ed, sooner than I thought. Mother, I saw how much he likes what he sees when he looks at me." Mother said, "Okay, that is something that you are going to have to find the answer to on your own." "Wait a minute," Jennifer said, "Big Ed cannot give me a ride to school before the school knows about me. I'd call him, but I don't want to give him the wrong idea. I still need him to keep me and my secret safe." "Fine, I will call him," Mother said. She grabbed her phone and called Big Ed. She told him, "Drop by the office at school about 15 minutes before homeroom and complain about Tommy missing the last tutoring appointment." She looked at her daughter. "I can make the introduction and the rest is up to you." With that said, she told Jennifer it was time for bed. Nice dream or nightmare. Jennifer started a new nighttime regimen of facial cleansing. Mother told her, "Always clean your makeup off before going to bed." Makeup, clothes, and shoes she had little of either. Sleep came, and with new thoughts, Tommy had needed Big Ed, just as Jennifer would need him in a different way. Those thoughts were quickly becoming problematical. She had feelings for Big Ed. Best thing would be to stop it before anything started. No problem, then it would not become an issue. She would tell Big Ed that she liked him, but would not come between him and Amy. Good plan, it may work. Jennifer awoke in the morning to discover a damp, sticky feeling on her thigh beginning at her newly acquired vagina. After inspecting with her finger, she saw it was blood. Her first thought was that something had gone wrong. She cried out, "Mother, I am bleeding." Mother came into Jennifer's room and said, "No need to panic. The doctor told you that this could happen. Most girls have their first period sooner. However, this is the first time it has been able to leave your body. Now those stomach cramps that you have been having for the last year make more sense. You have two choices, a pad or tampon." Jennifer said, "I'll try using a tampon, that is if you have any." Mother said, "Look under the sink in the bathroom." "Thanks," Jennifer said. As she made her way to the bathroom, she could not help but laugh at how her life had changed. She looked at the box of tampons, read the instructions and gave herself a quick wipe, then inserted the tampon. She thought it might be a good idea to take a spare or two with her, as this was her first period. She did not know how her blood would be coming out, heavy or light. At least she knew, to use the bathroom before inserting the tampon, maybe 2 spares would be better, as she was sure she would need to use the restroom at school. After washing her hands and her face, she applied makeup. She used just a little eye makeup, so as not to give any guys the wrong idea. After dressing in the only complete outfit that she had to wear, she went to the kitchen for a cup of coffee. After fixing it the way she liked, she said, "Mother, I need to go to the doctor after school. I do not want to have anything happen, unplanned. I also need to shop for more clothes to wear. I really could use a job to make some money. Mother said, I am glad that you realize that you need the best protection and thinking about needing a job is a good idea. I'll ask at work if you could do some clerking or something. 2 or 3 afternoons and Saturday if needed. You need to put your coffee into a travel mug. This will be an early day as it will be your first day as Jennifer. She did as Mother had said, and they were on the way to school. Jennifer's mind was drifting as she could not help herself. Her mind was stuck on Big Ed. As they made their way to the office to get enrolled, everything was going according to the plan they had discussed. There he was, Big Ed, he said. Mrs. Newton, I have been trying to reach Tommy, but have not been able to get him on the phone. I have a couple of tests coming up and need him to tutor me. Mother said, I'm sure Jennifer could be your tutor, that is if the school will agree. Jennifer is every bit as smart as Tommy. Oh, that's right, you don't know, Jennifer and Tommy have traded places and Jennifer will be enrolling today. The receptionist said, that is a good idea, Jennifer's grades are high enough to be a tutor, and Big Ed does need to be tutored. Big Ed said, if Jennifer agrees to be my new tutor, I'm in agreement. Jennifer said, well, if Tommy was your tutor, it does make sense to become your tutor. You must play some kind of sport, I would guess football. Big Ed said, you are right, I play on the school football team. What homeroom do you have? Jennifer said, room 103. Big Ed said, that's my homeroom too. I'll walk you there. Jennifer had the same classes that Tommy had been taking, however, not all were at the same time. Because of her advanced courses, she ended up having 3 classes with Big Ed. She found out quickly that Jennifer needed Big Ed as much as Tommy did, however, for a different reason every boy kept coming up and wanted to try their luck in asking the new girl out. She had no choice but to ask Big Ed for help. She had to wait until the break between first and second periods, as Big Ed had to go in the opposite direction after homeroom. She saw him and gave him a look that screamed out, "Save me!" 3 boys were trying their best to be the lucky boy. Big Ed knew what Jennifer wanted and he had to put a stop to the advances. He came up to her and said, "Leave her alone, she is my new tutor and if you don't back away now, you will be crawling away. Be sure to tell your friends." He turned to Jennifer and said, "I'm sorry that they were bothering you. I will make sure that all the jocks know to leave you alone." Jennifer smiled at him and knew that she could not keep from looking at his nicely growing package and knew that she had to tell him before it went too far, however, not in the hallway. She said, "Thank you," it was beginning to become a problem. "When do you have your lunch break?" He said, "At the same time as you, or did you forget?" "That's right," she said, "we have the same class after lunch, so you can expect me at your table for lunch." She thought just make it through till the end of classes. Big Ed said, "Sure thing, I will keep those other guys from disturbing you and I will walk with you as we have the next class together." Jennifer could not keep her mind on anything for very long without having to bring herself back from thinking about Big Ed. She really needed to have that talk with him. It was very nice not to be bothered by the other boys. Nobody wanted to be on Big Ed's bad side, and she was very glad about that. At the end of school, her mother was waiting for her, and Big Ed looked very disappointed that he could not have her come over to his house to help him study. He said, "I was hoping to get Jennifer's help with the biology test." Mrs. Newton said, "I'll have Jennifer over to your house in about an hour, and where is your bio book?" He looked down at Jennifer's book bag and said, "I must have left my book in my locker. Here is your book bag, Jennifer. I need to get my bio book. See you later." OBGYN Jennifer and her mother were on the way to her first appointment with an OBGYN doctor. Mother said, "You need to stop looking at Big Ed the way you do. You are almost undressing him with your eyes." Jennifer said, "I know, Mother, I am going to tell him that I like him. However, I will not tell him to break up with Amy and I will do nothing other than be his tutor and friend." I can't help myself, he is a very good-looking young man. Mother said, you need to decide in the type of birth control you want, a patch, the pill, or a slow-release implant. The patch could come off, you could forget to take your pill, so I think you should go with the third method. Jennifer left the doctor's office with enough implants in both arms to last 2 years. She was on her way to tutor Big Ed when her mother said, starting next Monday you will be helping at my law firm, 2 or 3 days during the week and some Saturdays if needed. Make your plans to tutor Big Ed with that in mind. You did say you wanted to earn your own money. Jennifer said, that's right, I need money. They were pulling up to the house that Big Ed lived at. One could easily tell that his parents were well off. Jennifer did not have to ring the doorbell or knock on the door. Big Ed opened the door. New tutor, he said, hope you can drill the information into my brain, because I really need your help. Come in, we will be at the kitchen table, as it is the only room my mother will let us be alone. She made that clear when she found out that my new tutor was a girl. Jennifer said, I still need to say hello, as she has never met me. He said, that's why you are the smart one. I forgot. Mom, come meet my new tutor. A few minutes later his mom came into the kitchen. She took one look at Jennifer and knew she had been right to restrict them to the kitchen. He said, Mom, this is Jennifer Newton, she is Tommy's twin sister, and they are trading places for a while. Mrs. Johnston said, it's nice to meet you, however, Tommy never mentioned you, I thought he was an only child. Jennifer had this answer, I knew, or I thought that I was adopted and that my last name was Newton for that reason. However, my last name is the same as Tommy's, because my adopted mother is Mrs. Newton's sister. At the time it would have been too hard for my birth mother to be trying to raise twins, having just lost her husband. I am here to get to know my birth mother. She could not help but look at Big Ed, it was his idea after all. Yes, I can see why she felt it would be better. Well, you did have the benefit of having a father to help raise you. It always had been just Tommy and his mother. Jennifer said, an adopted father is better than none. I only found out that my birth father was dead at the same time I found out about Tommy. I really should get tutoring. Big Ed said, I just poured you a glass of sweet iced tea and I opened the textbook to the chapter that will be on the test. I heard the teacher talking about the stuff, but it kind of went in one ear and out the other. Jennifer said, let me see what you should have read. I am sorry, I guess that you did not read it, I should have asked you first. He looked at her and said, you know me too well. No, I did not read the chapter. She looked at the textbook and knew she would not have a problem as she had taken biology 1 last year. Circulatory system, okay, a quick quiz. She said, define the circulatory system, please. He said nothing for the longest pause, it would have been no answer in class. Then he said, something to do with the heart and blood. Jennifer said, good start. What and how does the heart do its job? He said, other than it pumps the blood, which is only part of the answer, I am clueless. She asked, when is this test? He replied, Friday morning, I still can study tomorrow night, I will read tonight, and you can quiz me and then drill it into my brain. Tommy would not have a problem, so I am sure you will do great. Then he smiled at her, and she was lost in her mind trying to mentally undress him. It was the way he would smile at her as if he knew the effect that it had on her. She said, that sounds like a good plan. Before I leave you to your reading, I need to say this to you. I do like you, however, you are in a relationship with Amy and that is why I am here, in many ways. I will be your tutor and friend hopefully, and that is all. He gave her that smile again and said, yes, you are right, I need to prepare the message for Amy. Hey, I have a great way for you to experience some more of what it is like to be a girl. If I pass the test and can play Friday night's game, it is a home game, and if we win then the team goes to Tony's Pizzeria to celebrate. You can come with me. She thought about what he had just said and then made her reply, "If you pass the test, then I will go to the game, and if the team wins then fine, I will go with you." My mother did say that I would need to get real-life experience, so read and study. So, how do I get home? He got up from the table and went to the den where his mother was watching TV. "Mom, sorry to bother you, Jennifer needs a ride home and she said I need to read and study. She is more demanding than Tommy was." His mother looked up at him and said, "Good for her, maybe you will learn something. Tell her I will give her a ride home. I need to talk to her mother, so it will work out fine." He went back to the kitchen and said, "Mom said she would give you a ride home, however, she wants to talk to your mother about what I don't know. She said, I hope she does not think that I am too much of a distraction." He said, "It is problematic, however, I did tell her you were more demanding than Tommy was, and you are." She said, "Well, if I am not demanding then you may not pass your test." She turned to see Mrs. Johnston entering the kitchen. She said, "Come on, Jennifer. I need to talk to your mother." Jennifer said, "I am ready to go and thank you for the ride. I am going to call home and let my mother know to expect you." Mrs. Johnston said, "It is nice that you have agreed to tutor my son. I hope that being on the football team would encourage him to study, however he needs help." At home she opened the door and said, "Mother, I am home, and Mrs. Johnston is here to talk to you." Mother said, "I'll be right there, Jennifer. I got you 2 skirts and 3 blouses for school. I put them in your room on the bed. Try them on and if they fit, then remove the tags. Mrs. Johnston, we can talk in the living room." Jennifer went to her room, which was still the same as it had been her room when she was Tommy. She saw the items on the bed and could not wait to try them on. Of course, they fit. Mother knew her size. She began to remove the tags, wishing that she could hear what Mrs. Johnston was saying to her mother. She would find out soon enough as she heard Mrs. Johnston leave. She made her way to the living room and had to ask, "What did she have to say? Please, if you can tell me." "She knows the effect you have on her son and wanted me to remind you that he has a girlfriend. I told her that all you wanted to do was be his tutor and friend. She said, your words may say just friends, however, your eyes tell a different story. Try not to send a mixed message." "Well, that's what she had to say," Mother said. Jennifer said, "Thought as much. I cannot help but feel thankful towards Big Ed. After I started to tutor him as Tommy, last year was the most peaceful, and when he asked me to get a message to Amy, well, you know what happened. Mother, I had to remind him that he had asked me to get a message to Amy. It was if he forgot about her when he saw me. Now I need him to keep the other guys at school from trying to get me to go out with them. Before he told them to back off, 3 guys were trying to ask me out at the same time." Mother said, "I know it may be hard to look at him without having it come across as a lustful gaze, because you are truly thankful for the way he protects you. Just be careful and do not lead him on." Jennifer said, "Mother, I did tell him, tutor and friend, and that I would not come in between him and Amy. He agreed that he would write the message to Amy. Then he kind of asked me out." Jennifer turned to go and get ready for bed, did not make it 2 steps. "Hold it right there," Mother said. "What do you mean, kind of?" Jennifer turned and said, "It is like a reward for passing the test and winning the game on Friday night. He wanted me to go with him to Tony's Pizzeria after the game if they win. He cannot play unless he passes the test on Friday, so if he passes the test, I go to the game, and if the team wins then I go with him and the team to Tony's Pizzeria. You did say that I would need experience being a girl in public, so I thought it would be all right. We will not be alone. If you say no, then I won't go." Jennifer looked at her mother, waiting to hear what she had to say. Mother said, "Well, as long as you will not be alone with him, then it could be a positive experience." "Kind of?" He really did ask you to go with him, although you try to say that it is not a date, it really is one. Jennifer said, it will only be a date if he passes his test, then he gets to see me at his game. It will only be a date if our team wins. Besides, it could be good motivation pass and play then win or I won't be at the game or at Tony's Pizzeria. Everything fits, thank you I forgot. I'm going to bed, after I wash off my makeup. Mother said, I just told you about mixed signals, going on a date could be bad. I told you to handle Big Ed and you are not off to a good start. Jennifer said, I did tell him tutor and friend only. With that said, she did go clean the makeup off her face. Sleep was elusive. Her mind it seems was stuck on Big Ed. She was thinking about how grateful Tommy had been to Big Ed she knew. The answer to why she was drawn to Big Ed, she wanted to thank him in a way that Tommy never could. It was the last thought she had as sleep finally came for her. She woke up kind of thinking that she had come across some important bit of information, however, it was lost to her. Bathroom, coffee then get ready for school, maybe it would come back to her if she stopped trying so hard to remember. Her phone gave the ringtone that informed her Big Ed was calling. She answered, Morning, I'm still trying to wake up. Big Ed said, Just wanted to let you know I did read the chapter and will be ready for that quiz. I have the message for Amy, so whenever your mother feels you are ready you can take it to her. Need a ride to school? Jennifer thought and said, Sure, I'll be ready in 30 minutes. She continued to get ready for school. She had a thought something to do with feelings, but what feelings and for who? She made sure to have more spares a thought once a month every month. Unless she got pregnant, now once a month was fine. Big Ed was on time, and they were at school quickly. They walked to homeroom, she said, ready for my quiz, I hope you are. Just think about passing the test. She kept up with the little reminders, they both knew what was at stake, however, halfway through second period she got cramps really bad. Maybe other girls that had been having their periods were used to it, Jennifer could not deal with it and went to see the nurse. The nurse was understanding, but could not give her anything for the cramps. She did suggest that getting some Midol might help. She sent a text to her mother that read, Cramps bad come get me, please. Mother's text was just as short, be there in 10 minutes. Jennifer met her mother at the office, and they were on the way home. She said, should have warned you about cramps. Jennifer said, I know about them, now. The nurse said ask you about Midol. Mother laughed, it is kind if funny, last week you wouldn't have asked about Midol. Hang on I'll get you some. While she was gone, she had more of that feeling and thought that must be it. Mother came back, gave the pills to Jennifer. She said, Mother, I am pretty sure I know why I feel drawn to Big Ed. Tommy could never thank him in a manner that just would not have been right. However, those memories are in my brain, and I can thank Big Ed the way Tommy wanted to. If not for the strong moral compass you gave me, I might have already thanked him. Jennifer's phone rang, it was Big Ed, kind of spooky. Thinking about him and he is calling her, she did not want to answer. However, her pride in being a tutor made her. Hi, I'm okay. I'll meet you at your house after school, I think the fresh air and walk will do me good. He said, glad to hear you are okay, see you this afternoon. Jennifer was in trouble, most of her memories were the ones made as Tommy in the brain that was now in the body of Jennifer. She said, Mother, I think I need to see a therapist.